Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop, and I just wanted to start this video out. This is like the third messing in the shop style video that I've released here in a short period of time. And I apologize for that. I don't want this channel to just be, I don't want all my videos titled messing in the shop. However, I'm working on a lot of little things, a lot of just learning things, and I had the digital caliper from Mitutoyo. I had that situation. I bought some air tools. I just like to share all the things I'm working on in the garage. And unfortunately, a lot of these little things aren't necessarily worthy of a video on their own. So I like to stack them up. And I usually call those the messing in the shop videos. And I'm going to continue to do that. So I apologize if you don't like those, but it's my way of putting several of the smaller things I'm working on together in a larger, longer format video. And that's just what I've been working on. So sorry for getting 3 in a row, but I want to get some videos out here. It's nearly December. This one will come out mid-December or so. But I like to keep content coming regularly, and I like to share everything I'm working on in the shop. So with that said, you're going to see a bunch of little things I've been working on. And I appreciate all of you watching. Thanks for sticking with me. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And I hope you enjoy this video as well. Well, everybody, welcome back. My name is Deez, and this is my workshop, and today we're going to do a redo on the whole Mitutoyo digital caliper. In a previous video, I mentioned you got to really pay attention to Amazon and who's actually selling items, and I put out a little bit of a warning, be careful if you're buying Mitutoyo calipers on Amazon. I guess the market for the knockoffs and counterfeit versions of those are out there in the wild, and there's just a ton of them, and people are taking advantage of people who don't know that they exist. I feel bad for anybody that's purchasing them and don't realize or have been duped. Fortunately, I sent mine back. I did get a refund for the purchase price. It still shows, it's a little sketchy in Amazon. It still shows that it's in transit shipping back to the seller, but they've received it. I have all the tracking information and even a photo where it was delivered to them. I really would like my Amazon account to show that it was received and it's all done, but I did get my money. If they charge my card again for some reason, then I'll take it up with Amazon and figure that out. But I was able to kind of go back through it, and I decided I'm going to reach out to Mitutoyo on their website and find a distributor or a reseller, an authorized seller, because I really want to get an authentic Mitutoyo digital caliper. I didn't want a knockoff. I wanted the authentic thing. So I thought, okay, well, I will use Mitutoyo and find an authorized distributor so I can get a legitimate product. I'm not saying you can't get one on Amazon. Maybe you just need to buy it from Amazon where it's shipped and sold by Amazon themselves. I don't know, but I just wanted to avoid Amazon on this particular purchase, and I was willing to pay more money to get it so that I know it's a genuine product, genuine article. So I used their site, found a distributor. I received an email from one of their representatives up in Chicago area, and he said use this link to find a distributor. You can find that link on their website too. And I replied back to him. I explained, yeah, I just want to make sure I get the right thing. I told him, the issue, and he actually was concerned about it and wanted to know the seller who sent me the counterfeit item. So I gave him all that information, and I said, I understand this isn't your fault, Mitutoyo's fault, but he was concerned. They're a solid company, and they don't want people ripping people off, especially stealing their thunder, their ideas, their brand. So it's unfortunate that that's out there, but we all know that stuff's out there. I mean, heck, that's why most of this shop is populated with cheap knockoff tools and stuff. I can't afford anything. I can't afford the best of the best for everything. But in this case, I bought one from Travers Tools. Now, I haven't opened it yet. We're going to do that together. let's see if this one looks any different, and hopefully we do not have a counterfeit knockoff problem. Apologize for the mess. I'm working on different projects and different things right now, but I want to get this opened up and take a look at it. So first, it's not in just a plastic bag shipped with the original carton. They actually put it in a box, shipped it properly, and packed it well. So I'm quite pleased with this already. Here's my invoice. It's got my information on it. Here is, I'm already seeing some things that I watched on Cloth 42's channel. He really did a great job outlining what's counterfeit, what's not. You can already see the colors are matching up. If you go watch that video, maybe I'll link to it in this video. He does a fantastic job about pointing out. He's got the genuine article and he also has counterfeits, and he compares them side by side. There we go. That's all we got in the box there. So it's got the QR code like it's supposed to. These are the things that this is pretty cool. This is already looking more legit than before. Again, I bought this from Travers, and I got to their site by using the authorized link. First thing we'll check before we open it, this should say made in Japan, and it most certainly does. This was something that was not on the counterfeit. The colors were different. I think the size of the case might have been a little different. I don't have it here to compare. I can tell already this is looking better. There's my inspection sheet. My serial number is in fact of the same print on the knockoff. The serial number was not of the same print that I had. We've got the genuine Mitutoyo SR44SW. This is already looking a lot better. So that's great. Okay, this was another thing. This cellophane wrapper, this has a nice cellophane sealed wrapper. This is how they're supposed to be. I'm gonna clean some of this mess up. All right, let's go ahead and continue opening this thing and check it out. I'm confident this is the genuine article now. Very, very happy so far. Take this out. I mean, there's something about these pegs and the way that this is molded and made that all makes a difference. Set that over here. The cellophane is as it should be according to the videos that I've seen out there. And I intend on using this thing, so let's go ahead and open it up. There we go. Take this out of here. This paper is supposed to have Japanese on it. It does. It's got the buttons already look better, like they're supposed to. They say put the battery in, close it, and hit or hold origin for 1 second. There's no battery in it right now. This should not come out. It doesn't. That was a problem I had. These holes line up. That was a problem I had. This is a test here. You see that? This is much shorter than the one that was a knockoff. I wish I had taken photos. We saw it in, if you watched that other video, you did get to see some of it, but that was an indicator. This back should have a circle and not a ramp. Let's see what that looks like. Sure enough, it has what it's supposed to have. I believe we have a genuine article here now. And it should be, because it came from an authorized seller. Very good. Nothing left but to put a battery in it. And I'm going to use the one that came with it. I've heard that most people get 5 years out of these batteries. So, like I said, I bought this thing to use it. Let's get the battery in there. You can tell this battery compartment looks different. The other one was difficult. If you watch that other video, that's when I started to suspect things. The battery was difficult to get in there. This one goes right in. That's how it's supposed to be. So it says to close it and press origin. There it is. And the numbers they look different. They look better. There's our inches. Now, let's get a gauge block out. Should be 23 thou. Let's 23 thou on the money. Fantastic. I'm super excited to finally get the genuine article. I have no doubts that this is truly a proper Mitutoyo Digimatic caliper, and it's a genuine article, and it's not a counterfeit device. Lessons learned: make sure you purchase when you're purchasing these things. Get them from an authorized reseller. Make sure your source is legit. Be careful on Amazon. Amazon's full of scammers. It's really a shame. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez, and this is my workshop. Right now it's a bit of a messy workshop. We just went through some gifts that were given to me, mostly taps, some really cool treasures here. We got a lot of center point bits, some rusty reamers. We're going to get those in some evapor rust and just kind of get those things working and trying to clean some of that stuff up. But what I really need to do is clean all this up to prepare for that next project. Kind of have a bit of a disarray. I was going through those old tools that I salvaged in a previous video. I've got those in buckets, the stuff that I wanted to work through. And I pulled out some hammers, but everything's just kind of in the way, preventing me from starting that next project. So I think what I'm going to do is organize all of these taps and everything into sizes and quality, and put those somewhere where I can easily retrieve them by size and use when I need them. Clean up the press. I need to make a plate for the press portion, the square stock on top. There's a threaded hole in the bottom. I'd like to make a square plate or some sort of a plate so that there's not just an open hole in the bottom of that. I've got something a tool that I've had for a really long time that I haven't really got out and used, but now that I've upgraded the shop air, I want to get that out and see how I can incorporate that into more use in the shop as I'm working through projects. So let's start with cleaning up some of this stuff over here before we get into the tools, the things that Aaron Kohler had given me, and then we'll sit down here and we'll kind of go through this stuff a little bit closer. get down here and clean this stuff up. Let's see. First thing is we'll put our chart with the other charts that I have. I'll keep those up here. The hammer we're going to work with in the future, but I really like this thing. Nice brass hammer. We've got some raw materials here. We're going to put this over in the spare parts area. And I think I'll go ahead and put the deburring tip on here, just so it's ready to use. And let's clean this up a little. Got some really nice dies here. We're gonna figure out a better system to organize taps and dies. Well, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna go through all these. I'm gonna try to organize them, clean them up a little bit. I'm not gonna go crazy, and I think I'm gonna use this container for now. I don't really have a better system for this, but I'm going to try to organize them by size. But the taps are all going to go in here. So what we want to do is sort them by size, clean off a little bit of the debris. I don't really want to use this container. It doesn't have any, it's just an open container. So let's start with this one. I'm not going to take the wax off of these taps. We're just going to put these in here as they are. There's a few more that are protected. Might as well put those in here as well. And I think that'll be a good start there. We have got some really small, I think these are all 440s. These were all in a better condition. Maybe they're unused. Boy, that one's hard to read. 440, 440, 440. All right, so you get the idea. I'm not going to narrate this whole thing. We'll just speed through this, but that's the idea. We're going to organize this into, sizes that we can get to much quicker. That pretty much kind of cleans everything up. We've got the taps organized good enough. We're going to put these in a drawer. We've got a few broken but useful center drills and some end mills. We got a drill, a few extra drill bits, and we'll just probably... I've got some smaller assortment, so I may actually combine them all into this little case. I kind of like that because I got some loose, and we'll just kind of store it away that way. We got this larger bit. It is 5/16. So we'll get that over with our other drills, and yeah, that pretty much cleans up everything. So that's that task done. Let's move on to the next thing. There's something that I've been wanting to use that I purchased a long time ago. I actually wouldn't mind a slightly different tool. It's an air tool, and it's a die grinder. This one's just a straight die grinder. I think it was $8. It was super cheap, but I thought I'll pick that thing up and see how well it works, if it works at all. And I also bought some assortment of grinding wheels and polishing wheels and just things like that. And some of the projects and some of the raw stock and materials I have, I could use that to either deburr, chamfer some edges, clean them up, polish them up, maybe just utilize it here in this shop. Well, now that we have our air upgrade, some air over here on this side of the shop, I thought maybe it's time to get that stuff out and have it available rather than tucked away in a drawer somewhere where I just never use it. So that's what we have over here. Let me grab some gloves and move some of this material so we have a little area to work. Well, here's what we got. We have an air die grinder. I bought it from the usual suspects. Never used it, so I thought, I need to get this thing out and use it. I have it. See if we can make this useful in the shop. It's got some attachments, some fittings, and then I also had, this was on sale for super cheap one time. Again, I bought these things years ago before I even got into metal machining, and why not? Let's get this thing out. Maybe we can use it. This might be good to, they're good for automotive and that sort of thing, but who knows? So, actually, to be honest with you, I think this one was given to me. Regardless, we're going to get these out and see if they work. And then in addition to those, these were, by the way, these bits, carbide bits, are super expensive for a set. These are just probably high-speed steel. They're just rasps for, I suppose you could use them with metal, but I don't think they would last long. These were cheap. It doesn't even say that they're high-speed steel. I don't know how, if I use these on metals, it would probably destroy them, but whatever, they were cheap. I can use that with the die grinder. But this was just some pack assortment of things that I use. Now this is what I really think I can utilize in the shop here. And it's got your little mounting portion there, and many different types of sanding discs, some Scotch-Brite type discs. Let's just see what's in here. Yeah, here's some roughing, like Scotch-Brite type discs. We got some sanding, number 40. There we go. So there's your grits, right? 240, 40. It's a pretty big assortment. 60 grit. What else we got? 180. Let's get all this stuff out of here. 36. 120. $60 grit. So 60 grit blue and 60 red. I'm not sure what the difference is there. Probably a different type of abrasive material. And then, like I said, a big assortment of these types of wheels. These are good for getting off burred edges. A little polishing wheel. There's some different grits of, like, what do they call those? Grinding pads of some sort. Here's like the Scotch-Brite kind. Red one, another green one. Couple really aggressive grits, and a small little grinding wheel. So there we go. They all just kind of thread on and thread off, and I think it's time that we get all this assembled and try to use this thing. We're going to use this pad, this adapter or mounting pad here. See if we can get it open. There we go. here's that. We have oil daily. This was just on here. Well, let's see what this thing can do. It's leaking a little. I need to put some better tape on there. Okay. That works. Yeah. There we go. That'll work. Not sure what that's out of. But yeah, we're going to start utilizing this where it makes sense. One of these days I'd like to get a little wire wheel for this thing as well. But that should be easy enough to find. So there we go. Got some air tools. I probably won't get this one going because it also needs a 1/4-inch air fitting, and I don't have one of those, so not right now anyway. So I'll work on getting one of those. There we go. These will be handy. I'll be able to use those for upcoming projects. Well, we're just going to continue messing around out here. Recently, my brother gave me another hunk of metal. If you've watched some of my earlier videos or any of my other videos, sometimes my brother works for his job. He runs across some steel items sometimes, and in this case, he was mowing a ditch and for where he works, and this thing, whatever this has got to be a bushing or something off of some heavy piece of machinery, farm equipment or some sort. And he said he hit this thing and it did a number on the mower. So he grabbed it, number one, to get it out of the ditch so he doesn't hit it again. But number two, he passed it my way. He thought, hey, maybe you can use that. And I thought, you know, I always like to have hunks of steel or something. I think what I'm going to do, just because I like messing around out here, I'm just going to face off the ends, both sides of this, using the face mill. And I would like to see if I can get this in the lathe and turn it just to make it square and clean it up and just have a nice chunk of steel. Or maybe I'll make a pencil holder out of it. Maybe this will be a nice door stop or something. I'd just like to clean it up. It's tapered, so it's worn out. Probably fell out of a machine because of that. And I'm going to see if I can get this mounted in here and just go over the two flat surfaces with the face mill and clean this thing up. Let's see if we can get this mounted in here and actually catch both sides of this. Let's go ahead and just clamp this in here for the time being. This will be intermittent cuts. This could be hardened. I don't know what kind of trouble I'm going to run into, but I am going to go ahead and just take really light passes and try to flatten up this side, and then we'll flatten up the other side. I'm not even done with this thing, and I have created an incredible mess. The amount of chips from this thing kind of seems like a waste of time, but it's not for me. I just kind of want to get this down to a usable piece, and we're getting there. this is, I need to get this down to where I can mount it up in the lathe so I can turn down the OD. But I got some ideas to make with this thing, you know, kind of a cool chunk of metal. But for now, we got to get this cleaned up. I'm tracking chips all over the place. What a mess. Well, everybody, I'm going to try to finish out this video. I've been working on cleaning up this steel chunk of, it's either a bushing or something, but may have actually damaged my lathe, which is fantastic. I'll come over here and I'll show you, but I'm ready to get the shop cleaned up. I've got all kinds of stuff in the works and just a big mess, but just absolute dirty mess. You know, I was just playing around, working with the machines, but I got a whole lot of stuff to clean up. But this thing, I just wanted to clean it up. I got some ideas for it, but I came out here the other day and I noticed this line of oil coming from around that bearing. Now, I'm not sure if they're sealed bearings. I assume they are. Maybe they're not. It's possible that's, you know, I was spraying a lot of lubricant over here. Perhaps it kind of flew over there and is just dripping down, but smelling it, it almost smells like grease. So who knows? Time will tell, but I may have damaged those bearings. I'm not sure. I'm going to chamfer these edges and finish this thing up and get it out of here and stop messing with this thing. It's a pretty big chunk, so I got it cleaned up enough for how I want it, and then I'll chamfer the edges and I'll probably just run a wire wheel inside to clean that up. I don't need it perfectly straight there, but it's running very true on the outside right now. Around the other side. There we go. I'm going to stop here with this piece. I don't want to, if I did damage the lathe, I don't want to damage it anymore. But kind of a cool looking piece. I got just some playing around with it. I might make some sort of container with it, do a little bit of line boring, center boring out of there, or make a bottom, maybe make a ridiculous pencil holder. Who knows? But I'm going to stop playing with this thing for now, clean up the lathe. This thing right here has made such an incredible mess in the workshop. I'm ready to get this cleaned up and start working on some other projects. But it is fun. I like turning this old stuff and making it look like something a little better. This outside, there's some hard spots on it, but I was getting some good finishes. Regardless, this is good enough for now. I'm going to call this particular experiment complete. Well, everybody, we're going to close out this video. I just thought I'd give you a close-up, a little better view of what this thing is. It's just a bushing. I was just trying to clean it up. I got it turned down pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is just make a ridiculous pencil holder or some sort of container. Eventually, I will probably bore this out so I can put in a puck or some sort of 1/4-inch steel plate or something, and we'll finish this thing out to be a container of sorts. I'll use a wire wheel to clean out the inside. I don't think I want to push the lathe any further with this thing. It's really hard. I even got to where, you know, when you use, like, if you watch Curtis and you see him use ceramics on, like, a hydraulic cylinder to get through that hardened layer, it almost catches on fire. It gets real red. I've seen some of that with the carbide that I was using. So I don't know what this is. Definitely a bushing of some sort. Probably came off of a piece of farm machinery, but anyway, I just wanted to play with that. But I think I pushed that little lathe a little hard with this thing. So I'm gonna stop there and make sure I don't do any damage to that thing. But it's a pretty hefty chunk of steel. So we got that thing, and then I also got the Mitutoyo calipers, and these things, there's a difference. I have an issue. These are not. I don't have an issue with the Mitutoyo calipers. I do have an issue with these. They are not. They're off. If I measure, I was measuring a block. They're about 1.5 to 2 thou off. So that's an issue if I'm relying on this, which I shouldn't. I probably should use caliper or micrometers. But this thing was causing me some issues. So I'll play with that a little bit more, testing this thing out, comparing the two, and see if maybe we can improve this one. But I'm really happy to have the genuine article. a genuine product from Mitutoyo. I registered it. I got the serial number, the inspection. All of this makes so much more sense. Again, in this video, I'm going to link to Cloth 42's video that really goes in depth about how to spot one of these counterfeit Mitutoyo calipers. Watch that video if you're going to get one of these. Be careful where you buy this thing. But I'm stoked to finally have the actual proper unit. This is, you know, my year to get some proper tooling and quality products. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and I hope to see you on the next one.